You can go ahead and dime, Senator.
Go who?
Which Republicans smoke weed? Go ahead, tell us.
Tell us
right now. You know.
Is it McConnell? Tell us.
Listen, this may get me in trouble. I know some people that need to probably smoke some.
Yes, yes, please. Somebody give Mitch McConnell a blunt right now.
Immediately. Immediately he needs some weed. Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new Won't Stick to Sports. I am Cari Champion with Jemele Hill. And Jemele, I want you to know I have not forgotten that you all tried to replace me because I missed my COVID testing last week. And I am here, shielded and ready to take over. But
I love that you now want to follow the rules. Okay?
Yeah, well,
now you want to follow the rules.
Listen, what woman who's made history follows rules? Take a look at Jemele trying to replace me, y'all.
Even though I have come to enjoy pantsless Sherry over there in the corner with the Clippers uniform.
You know what?
In all seriousness, I missed you, Cari.
Yeah, you might be the only one, but I love you. And so thank you. I appreciate it. And I don't know why you didn't let Sherry have on pants, but that's not even the point. Because you tried to say I always have on short skirts.
That's a human resources issue. As far as
All right, so listen, back to business, because what's been going on in America? Do you know?
I do.
What do we call it?
Previously on America's Bullshit.
Say it again. We need a song. Dun, 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 dun. This first clip that we're going to show you guys really disturbed me. It was, not only was it disgusting, it was just a violation of human rights. Back in February of 2019, Chicago PD raided the home of a social worker. And she mentioned, as you will see, that she had just got home from work and she wanted to basically take off her clothes. You know how you do. You want to relax, you want to get in the shower, you want to make some dinner, all of the different things. But before she could do that, her home was raided. Take a look.
It happened so fast, I didn't have time to put on clothes.
She was surrounded by 12 male officers.
And I'm just standing there. I mean, terrified, humiliated.
You got the wrong house. Nobody lives here but me. Okay, you don't have to shout. I don't have to shout. This is ridiculous.
So we have to add this. That happened in 2019. We're just now finding out about it because she had to go to court to make sure that she could actually get that video. Chicago PD was trying to make sure that they could not get that video out. They were hiding it. Chicago PD went to federal court and they were denied. So she finally has access to that information in the video in which we were able to show you guys. And I have to tell you, Jemele, the first thought was, put some clothes on this woman. How humiliating is that? Okay, fine, you have the wrong house. But there was such a level of disrespect and there was no humanity there. And that, to me, makes me think, when they see us, what do you see?
Exactly. And let's be real, this would have never happened to a white woman.
Oh my God.
Okay, and even if they were in the right house, it wasn't acceptable to have her there humiliated in her own home, naked, while these officers rummaged through her things. And look, I get it. The police are often lied to, and I'm sure when she said, you're in the wrong house, that's something they hear often. But when you look at the reports and see that a simple check, simple homework on their part, they should have never been at that house. And that's an example of how a Breonna Taylor happens.
Yo,
right?
It's like, let this be known. This happens more often than not. And she went through all these different exercises to make sure this video could be released. But she said, you have the wrong house. No need to shout. Absolutely. I'm sitting here naked.
And look, when people are talking about defunding the police, and this is why reform doesn't work, all right? This is why we have to take more drastic measures. All right, on a much lighter note, let's turn to Smokey Robinson, of all people. All right, thanks to Cameo, the app that lets you purchase shout-outs from celebrities, Smokey provided a priceless, one-of-a-kind message to commemorate a very famous Jewish holiday.
Okay.
I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jared, and they wanted me to wish you happy Chanukah. I have no idea what Chanukah is.
Neither do we.
But happy Chanukah because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe. And enjoy Chanukah.
Get your Uncle Smokey.
Don't talk about Uncle Smokey.
First of all, let me just
say
to get that
something. Smokey, you fine. $400 is a lot of money. But Cameo, guys, just so you know, making a lot of money. I actually have been in touch with Cameo because they've been asking.
Ooh, about us?
Yeah.
Really?
And I was told that our worth would be, we'd start at $75.
That's it?
He told me we start at 7.
Is that all we worth to you, America? Is $75?
And somebody's like, yes, that is all. Maybe 50 cents.
Okay, see, but Cari, I feel like if you oiled your legs as part of the cameo, that you could charge $150, $200 easy.
Yeah, but like Smokey I get why Smokey is getting $400, but he's like Chinooka for $400. Yeah,
You just worth $75? That's it?
yeah,
I feel cheap. That's okay.
that's life. $75. I give you $75.
All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you. All right.
All right, let's turn our attention to Georgia. This week, early voting continues for the 2 runoffs that will determine the Senate majority control. Now, Georgia already set a record this year with over 1 million more voters casting their ballots in the general election than who did in 2016. But no other get out and vote effort pleased me more than this PSA
I bet.
by an Atlanta-based director, Angela Barnes, and producer, Paul Fox. Take a look.
So, you really not gonna vote? Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll.
Get your vote, yeah, vote.
Apparently, a lot of people did not appreciate that effort of these ladies, and I think they're amazing. So, January 5th runoff, they are back, and they have a different approach.
Georgia has a runoff election on January 5th for 2 Senate seats.
Go to getYourBootyToThePoll.com.
Get your booty to the poll.
Get your booty to the poll.
The Georgia Senate runoff is January 5th.
Well, a lot of folks, they were so bothered over this campaign. But look, like it or not, it was effective. It grabbed people's attention, which leads us to our question of the week. Does shaking that ass really get people to the polls? Now, we figured we'd ask the best person who could answer this question. She is one of the stars of this very popular PSA.
She is the star of
yes.
the PSA.
Poll artist Coy Malone. Coy, thank you for joining us on Won't Stick to Sports. Hey. So, what has been the response to this campaign?
Well, you know, we've gotten mixed responses. We got a very great reception with people that appreciated our efforts in making a PSA that addressed people that usually aren't marketed towards when it comes to politics, voting, and being informed about what it is to vote and what happens when you don't vote. So Georgia is really surprising me. The citizens of Georgia are surprising me. They're showing up, they're voting on the issues, they're voting on the senators, and we got booties to the poll. Like, there's no way that you can't deny it. Like, we were a part of that movement.
Before we let you go, Coy, quickly, if you could answer this, better tippers, politicians, athletes, or regular citizens?
See, politicians, they tip, but they try to be like really sneaky with it. So like they might tip you nicely, but they'll like slide $100 bill or something like that. I appreciate that because I don't have to bend down, crawl, scoop stuff up off of the floor and stuff like that.
That's the part,
Athletes,
yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't like. It's like, you know, there's chicken bones down there we found in our money and champagne bottles. Like, how did this get in the money? I don't understand. Athletes like to show out. They like to be seen and stuff. That's fun, but then it's like, it's not fun when the money that you're throwing me is landing on the stage, it's landing on this girl over here. Like, no, stop doing that. Regular people, they get it. You know, I got to give it to the regular people because they really try to make sure that they aim their money at least when they throw it.
For sure.
That's right. They can't have it going everywhere.
Yeah.
It's too valuable.
Yeah. It's too valuable.
It's too precious.
Coy,
sure.
we appreciate your, we really, truly, honestly, and I know we've been having fun with you, but we truly appreciate your confidence and more importantly, your dedication to make sure that people get out and vote. I thank you for joining us and having some fun with us. It was definitely enlightening.
Yes.
If you see Jemele there, control my girl, okay?
Got you.
She
I'm
got
gonna
my
make sure
back.
I hide her behind a cloud of hookah smoke.
Thank you.
Thank you. And most importantly, everybody out there, be sure to visit getYourBootyToThePoll.com.
That's right.
We'll be back with Senator Cory Booker.
Welcome back to Won't Stick to Sports. Joining us now, Senator Cory Booker out of New Jersey, also known as Rosario Dawson's boyfriend. Senator, thank you for joining us today. So good to have you on our show.
It's so good to be on your show. I wish we were in person, but it's good to be with you virtually.
Yeah, it is good to be with you. You're one of these guys that you believe in reaching across the aisle. You've talked many times about legislation and initiatives that you've worked with Republicans on. However, right now, this feels like a different time in our country. There's a lot of dangerous tribalism going on. Joe Biden has called for unity. But be honest with us, how realistic is unity at this point with where we are?
Well, we're in a tough, really moment where I just never imagined that I would see a point where you had one major political party with the near majority of their people who identify as Republicans think that this last election wasn't a free and fair election. They're really falling prey to Donald Trump's misinformation, saying it was rigged. And I think that's problematic. So this is a time that's frustrating to me. It's been this end of the era of Trump. I knew he would not go quietly or go well, but he's doing a lot of damage. And that's not to me partisan. That's just, to me, pathetic and painful. So look, we have to come together and get something done. We're in the third largest mass casualty event in American history. And we know that the people are dying disproportionately are folks from vulnerable communities. So this necessitates us getting something done. And to do that, you have got to work across the aisle as Americans to be there for our country in crisis.
Speaking of the work that you've been doing, this morning you introduced a bill that I think is overdue and needed, the College Athletes' Bill of Rights, to protect and compensate players with the COVID surge. Would your legislation demand that college sports be canceled, or are you okay with them being played?
So the legislation doesn't really speak to that specifically. It's really about the experience that I have as a former college player talking to so many of my peers. I mean, you have guys and women who have sustained injuries that they're now spend 10, 20 years pulling out of their own pockets to pay for, even though they injured themselves making millions of dollars for their university. There are a lot of things that are just wrong and unjust. And I remember I came from a family that I didn't have to send money home, but I know lots of players that came from situations where they had younger siblings and they had to figure out ways to help out, having the family make ends meet. Meanwhile, it's a $15 billion industry. There should be a revenue sharing opportunity for the people that are creating wealth. So those are the things we speak to.
When you look at the NCAA and how much money it makes, I know that your bill doesn't necessarily speak to that, but your take on college athletes playing during this time, how do you feel about it?
Well, look, I just always try to put myself in the position of an athlete. And I know that if I was in my junior year or my senior year, and my season was being threatened by a horrible pandemic, that I would want to play and go through a lot to play. That said, this is no joke. People are dying. And a lot of our coaches and coaching staff, the people who are out there that are necessary to make the sport happen, we can't unnecessarily or recklessly endanger people's lives. Now, some people have taken steps to have students retain their eligibility. I'm grateful for that. But again, you don't have that many years where you can play at that elite level. So it's a real difficult balance. And I think it's something that I think we should really be following what's in the best interest of the health and safety of those involved first and foremost, while at the same time understanding that this is an industry and there are livelihoods at play. You cancel a game, businesses suffer. And so it's just a tough balance to strike.
Another issue, Senator, you've been passionate about is the legalization of marijuana. Now, the House just voted to legalize weed. You're the chief sponsor of the Marijuana Justice Act. Give us some odds here.
Should we call it weed?
I mean, it's called weed.
Is it marijuana or is it weed?
Look,
or is
weed,
it trees?
marijuana,
Senator, do you call it weed? Or do you call it trees? Or do you call it marijuana?
It depends. If I'm on a late night podcast,
okay.
I am not necessarily calling it marijuana.
Okay, Jemele.
If I'm standing in the Senate giving a speech on that in that hollowed space, I will be calling it marijuana.
Okay.
All right. So again, you've been very passionate about this issue with the Marijuana Justice Act. Give us the honest answer here. What are the odds that this is something that will be able to be pushed forward?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're in Georgia right now, you will control whether weed gets legalized or not based upon whether you go out and vote. If Democrats win those 2 seats, I'm pretty confident that you will see maybe not the major legislation that I seek, but you're going to see a relaxing. Even Joe Biden said he wants to decriminalize it. So the relaxing of laws that better allow states to do what they want to do. Now, I do want to say this, which is, I don't mean to bring folks down, because I've never drank alcohol in my life, not to mention never smoked weed. This is not about that. This is I knew I might bring you down.
Yeah, like you totally brought us down, Senator.
I'm so sorry. It's the holiday season, but
yeah,
I'm in this for the justice issues and the racial justice issues.
I understand.
We had the last year I have on record is just a few years ago, we had more marijuana possession arrests in America than all violent crime arrests combined. And privileged people don't have to worry about getting arrested for marijuana. It is low-income people, black and brown people. If you're black in America, there's no difference in your usage of pot than a white American, but you're like 4 times more likely to be arrested for it and have your life ruined. We have had not a war on drugs or a war on pot in this country. We've had a war on people, disproportionately black and brown people, who find their lives economically devastated because of getting arrested for things that I saw done in college by privileged people at Stanford or Yale without any fear of retribution. And the Marijuana Justice Act is not just about legalization, and I'm all for it. I'm one of these folks that's just like, our drug laws are ridiculous, but I want to see justice done, restorative justice.
We really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I hope you appreciate what we're about to do. We're getting ready to play a game with you. It's called Seasonal Superlatives with Senator Cory Booker. So first up, most likely to get a lump of coal for Christmas, McConnell, Barr, or Giuliani? Have some fun.
Okay, I would say Giuliani probably. I think he's really been a bad actor on a high stage. But I have to say, I wish Mitch McConnell, who calls himself the Grim Reaper, I wish he would let more things come to the floor that the American people want to see debated and discussed. But if you had to ask me right now, Giuliani.
Okay, one that's a little less spicy. Okay, most likely to sing Christmas carols when nobody asked. Is it your beloved wingman, Joe Biden, your sister, Kamala Harris, or brother Barack Obama?
It definitely is not Barack. I mean, it's definitely not. I don't see him busting out in Christmas carols, even though post-President Barack Obama is a lot more fun. Kamala is like a sister. She is a lot of fun. But I think that Joe Biden is like your uncle that's going to sing. And so I think that he is definitely the best guy to break out and have some fun.
Yeah, okay. Uncle singing?
Sing some Christmas carols.
I'll take it. Next question. Most likely to get a 14-karat yellow diamond VVVV SSSSSS1, Rosario or me for this Christmas?
Wow. I already know the gifts I got her.
Okay.
And so I'm not getting her that item.
The question in essence is, will there be a diamond under the tree?
Oh, I hear what you're saying. No, not for me, no. But I'm now curious about your situation.
Hey, no, not for me either.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to break a little news here, Senator. If you had a question you might want to ask Rosario around the holidays that's about the rest of her life, let us know.
You guys are putting me on blast worse than my mom does.
I know.
You know, it's getting a little hot.
Well, listen, Senator, thank you so much for joining us, having a little fun. Happy holidays to you and Rosario, and congratulations on everything. And we look forward to seeing where your legislation goes. And most importantly, hopefully what's coming is people receiving a COVID relief stimulus package.
Amen.
Hopefully, yeah.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you, Senator. Bye, Senator. Thank you.
Bye-bye now. Thank you so much.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment with more Won't Stick to Sports. Before Jemele and I go for the holiday, we wanted to make sure that we gave you all a nice goodbye, because we're taking a 2-week break and we'll be back on January 7th. But as we bid farewell to 2020, I wanted to pay special tribute to Ahmaud Arbery, to Breonna Taylor, and to George Floyd. I want to thank them for making the ultimate sacrifice. And while it was sad and tragic, they sparked something that I believe we all needed to pay attention to. And that was what was going on in our country in terms of civil rights, racism, and where we are in the fight for equal liberties. And that to me was profound and arguably the most important part of 2020. So as we look ahead to 2021, people such as myself and my colleague Jemele Hill will always speak out for what is right. And we will always seek justice for those who can't seek it for themselves. And we want to thank you as we've taken this jumpy, bumpy, exciting ride in 2020. And then I'll make one more last wish for 2021. It's a hard turn here, so join me. Andre 3000, if you were watching, I have a crush on you. Jemele's married, and that's why she giggles in the background. She knows what it's like to touch toes with someone in bed at night. She knows what it's like to have someone rub her back when things don't go well, when she's in a bubble of trouble. But Andre, I too would like to touch toes at night with you.
Oh, wow.
If you're single. My wish for 2021.
That sound you heard was Chris Evans's heart just breaking in half.
It's over. I broke up with him.
You're on to another one. Okay,
I'm
so
on
we
to
have,
another one.
You have Andre 3000. I echo everything that you said about Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. And I just also like to add, look, we're at a time in our country, we have more than 300,000 Americans who have died from COVID-19. And you know what happens during this time of year is like people start rattling off their accomplishments and their flexes of 2020 and all that. To me, if you're alive, if all your family is safe, you can just end it right there. That's the period on the end of the sentence. You know what is the biggest flex? I'm here.
Amen.
That's the biggest flex. So all those who are healthy and safe, be grateful and be happy that you have your health right now.
I'm happy that I have you, my friend.
Oh.
Every time she has a birthday, I have to say this, she does not like to celebrate it, so we're doing it on television because she doesn't like to celebrate it. How about that? Black version, happy birthday to ya.
You just have to take
Happy birthday to ya.
We want to be able to be let back on TV. Look, happy holidays or whatever it is you celebrate.
Amen.
This time of year, enjoy it, right?
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
And thank you for taking this ride with us because it's been fun and it's been interesting, and we hope to see you at the new year with new hope and new life. Have a good one, everybody.
Take care.